If you as an adult are doing the focus attention practice with your students or your child at home, guess who also is staying regulated? Ooh. The adult.
We are back with another episode of the Quick Bites. I almost forgot what we were doing here, Eric. My name is Ginger Lewman. This is also my friend and colleague, Eric Nachtigal. We are wanting to share with you quick little 4 to 8 minute tidbits of what can be used in the classroom and in schools and with kids in general and adults in general to get ourselves moving in direction that we want to in terms of behavior and relationships and restorative work, right?
Yes, all the above.
So today's episode, Quick Bite, Eric, I'm so excited. Hey, by the way, friends, today's episode, if you are listening to this now, if there's weirdness, it's because there are 3 cameras on us and a whole studio full of lights. I can't even count the number of lights that are on us. We're doing these like in a video format now. So if you want to check that out, I'm sure it exists on YouTube somewhere. Right? Yes, the producer put his big thumb up there. Oh, not a big thumb. He put a thumb up where I could see it at a distance. I'm going to get my glasses on. Anyway, Glenn, thank you for helping us with all of this. He said, hey, why don't we do it this way? I was like, all right, our mugs on TV. We'll see how it goes. Okay.
That's sort of what she said.
There's
it was something with that flavor.
Oh my gosh, Eric. Hey, listen, we are out in the field quite a bit and doing a lot of co-teaching, a lot of demonstrating role modeling with teachers. And one of the things that we hear a lot from folks is, you know what, this is good stuff, but listen, I barely have enough time to get through my required curriculum. I know that in elementary school where they were seeing social studies and science get short shrift on a regular basis. They're just doing math and ELA to their best abilities. And how are we supposed to teach them these skills as well as all the coping skills and all the other stuff? Tell me, are you kidding me? How are we supposed to do this, Eric?
You know what? I must admit, there's a lot of, in the resilience team work, in the restorative practices work, in the regulation, all of those topics, there is this topic of all of them probably excites me the most. Because I think it can truly be a game changer in families as well as probably more in my work, direct work in classrooms on all levels, like pre-K to 12.
I can't wait to hear.
12. And I do want to definitely give a shout out. I've really fallen in love with lots of authors and literatures. I mean, we're talking, Dr. Bruce Perry, lots of people. There's some great, Ginger Healy, shout out to her. But Dr. Lori Desautel's Butler University has written books. One of her, check them out, folks, Connections Over Compliance. And her latest one is more of a manual, Body and Brain Brilliance. And in both these, she talks about what she calls focused attention practices. When you talk about developing a pause button, responding and not reacting, if we want to take a really deep dive, which we'll do maybe in another podcast, not this one, but whether as an educator, you react to punishment or respond to teaching discipline through relationship, focused attention practices are your answer. If you have kids in your classroom and you're trying to have a positive classroom culture where kids are regulated and in a ready to learn state more often, and it's almost like collectively dosing regulation for your class, because let's face it, teachers, you're there to teach. You wanted content. To get to that content, to have them in a ready to learn state, focused attention practices. You had something before I move on, I can tell?
No, you're okay. I was just thinking, so we're focusing our attention and we're practicing how to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, simple.
So when you talk about and they can be made up of, they can involve movement, breathing, visualization, music. They don't have to include all of these things, but Dr. Lori talks about all of these things can be a part of them. I love the breathing ones. If you're an educator out there listening, or if you're a parent out there parenting, that's a lot of folks, or maybe you're both. Maybe you are both, and you have your own kids, and then you have your wonderful little school family as well.
Bless you.
I just want you to stop and think, when in your family day, in your home life day, or in your school day, when would be good opportunities for this collective pause and an intentional focused attention practice, breathing, movement, mindfulness, visualization strategy. So what you're about ready to do, whether it's teach an ELA lesson, teach a math lesson, teach a science lesson, line the kids up to go to specials, right when they're getting ready to finish working on something and they're ready to transition to another subject, right before they're ready to get their stuff and go home. Or, oh my gosh, when you're starting your school day. Think of all those moments when you're a parent at home, when you're getting ready to do something with your child and you think, oh, they might be a little nervous about the activity. Focused attention practice. Take a moment and just develop some strategies. Mountain breathing, pretzel breathing, maybe take a short, quick walk. There are lots of different focused attention practices you can do, but all of them are meant to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which it relates to slowing your heart rate, calming your brain, and also they kind of get you out of your sympathetic nervous system, which is connected to your fight, flight, freeze mode. Because when you think about it, we don't want our personal kids, our kids at home, or our kids in school to be in that fight, flight, freeze mode. Because if they're in their downstairs brain and they are not learning, and they are not, as a parent, they are not hearing. They're not hearing your words if you're trying to talk them into getting into the upstairs brain, you're trying to talk them out of their dysregulation. You know, I use the analogy, and I bet Ginger can relate to this. I use an analogy. If a kid is dysregulated and you're trying to just verbally talk to them, it's like the old Charlie Brown. All they're hearing is wah, 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 wah. They're not. You have to use a bottom-up strategy, which focused attention practice is. They're moving, you're engaging a sensory system, you're breathing, intentional breathing, you're teaching them, and you're activating the sympathetic nervous system, which gets them back into their upstairs brain, ready to learn, ready to be regulated, and ready to tackle the tasks that you're asking them to do. But you got to be intentional about where you practice them when you put them in your school day or your home family life day, and then you have to do them consistently, and you will increase what Dr. Dan Siegel says is a child and an adult, if you're doing with them. That's the double bonus, by the way. If you as an adult are doing the focus attention practice with your students or your child at home, guess who also is staying regulated? Ooh. The adult, which is super important too. So they can literally expand your window of tolerance and the child's window of tolerance so they don't get dysregulated quite so quickly. And triple bonus, it builds resilience.
So, Eric, you have given us a whole bunch of why we want to use them, why and how they work. And as he was talking, I promise I was listening. I can do two things at once most of the time. And I just did a quick Google of focused attention practices. And the first thing that came up is 100 focused attention practices from Laura Desautel's. And she categorizes them in either calming or into energizing. So if you got some people, hoodies down, heads down, or kids who are crawling under tables, then you want to use the energizing ones. And if you have kids who are almost literally bouncing off the walls or just whatever they're doing, then you want to use the calming ones. And yes, the breathing is in there, but there's also twisting and swirling and punching and grabbing and wrist rotation and shrugging and grounding tree pose and ice cube. Body percussion. I know a lot of people like the breathing ones or just the calm. If I'm feeling some kind of way, stress or too excited or too whatever, I need to move my body. I need to stretch. I need to get energy. I need to sweat a little bit. And that's what brings me back into regulation. And I know that there are a lot of boys out there whose school tells them to sit down and be quiet. And that's not how boys learn, y'all. They need to move more. And this is a great way to do it. So you had mentioned when we do this, you gave us probably 5 or 6 different ways. I wanted to add in there, just in case somebody didn't hear this, is if you know you've got a kiddo who is going to be dysregulated in math class because they, for whatever way, don't like math or feel dumb at math or whatever class, or they're getting ready to go to lunch and they always act up at lunch, right? Can we do some dosing regulation, some focused attention practices before they get in trouble?
Yes. Preventative and proactive.
Yeah. And if we're just noticing this and taking data on kids' behaviors, then we can start to see patterns.
Well, And again, back to the original question, I know teachers have content to teach. Their plates are full. They have to teach math and science and ELA, and they go to specials, and all those are great and do that. But yes. However, this is not one of those that, this is going to take 30 minutes every day. Mm-hmm. This is not, this is a block of your schedule where you have to teach this lesson. This is literally 30 to 60 seconds periodically, intentionally throughout your day in situations where you're trying to be preventative and proactive because you know, a behavior could occur here from a student or multiple students. So I'm going to help dose regulation and calm their nervous systems before they enter that situation and help them make sure they're regulated and ready to tackle whatever they're about ready to tackle. I'm not asking you to do 30 minutes every 3 hours of this.
I'm at a risk going a little bit longer than quick bites, but I got to share this one. Not chewing gum. Give each student a piece of gum and have them hold it in their mouth for 1 minute without chewing, just feeling the sensation. I am sure I could not do that. I would and ask what they noticed as they tasted the gum but didn't chew. And after 1 minute, then we can all chew together and share sensations and feelings. Ow, are you kidding me?
There's so many cool ones. There's so many cool ones. And as we probably wrap up here, because it's a quick bite, so we want to be quick. I know. We're
going to put this link that I'm looking at here. We're going to put that link in the show notes.
Because I reach out to the resilience team, reach out to me. I have a slide deck full of these. And I will say that one thing, I thank you for bringing that up, because Dr. Lori has free slide deck or free cards of focused attention practices, calming, energizing. She says one other she classified as S for steadying, like steadying the nervous system. So with that one too, she has like online a free 120 set card deck, but I have a slide deck that I am more willing to share with educators, parents. So reach out to the resilience team. We got resources on focused attention practice. They can be game changers for you.
We could also let them reach out, or we could just put it in the show notes.
You know what? I'm going to let
Do you like answer email? Do you love getting more and more email? Well, I do, from people, but
I'm happy. I'm not sure I know how to do it, but if you know how to do that, I am on board.
I do, Glenn. I put the link and Glenn makes the magic happen.
Happy to share. So, all right, folks, thanks for being with us for this episode of Quick Bites about focused attention practices. And be sure and check out our other Quick Bites. We love spending time with you. For my wonderful colleague, Ginger Lewman, myself, Eric Nachtigal, and the ESSDACK Resilience team, we'll see you next time for the next episode of Quick Bites.